Hello, class ninth. How are you all? So, we have been studying chapter number 6. Yes, tissues. So, today we will study the some more type of plant tissues, permanent tissues. Okay. So, last time we categorized the plant tissue into different category. Yes, and we studied also about meristematic tissue. Yes, do you remember? So, before we start today's topic, let's revise whatever we studied in previous class. Let's revise. So, what do you mean by tissues? What do you mean by tissues? So, tissue is a group of cells, yes, which perform a specific function. Yes, there are many type of cell which group together and form cell. There are different type of tissues: blood tissue, yes, lymph tissue, tendon tissue. They are actually tissue, ligament tissue, yeah, and and we can say that, and they play very important role. Yes, they perform different type of function. And one more thing, that tissues have a similar structure and similar function, means they perform a specific function. And for example, the tissues of nose help in breathing, the tissues of eyes help in watching. So they perform a specific function. Yes, they, you cannot watch through your nose. Can you watch through nose? It's not possible. Yes, am I right? So they perform different type of function. So we can say that tissue is a group of cell. Yes, tissue is a group of cell having similar structure and function. Yes, they have same structure. Yes, all the tissues of one place are same. You cannot make group of cell by taking cells of different part, like you are taking the cell of cheek and taking the cell of heart, taking the cell of shoulder. So this group is not tissue. You will have to take the tissue of just one place. The tissues of the cells of your cheek, only the cells of cheek, that is a tissue. The cells of shoulder, that is another tissue. So there are different type of tissues. Okay, and so I hope you understood that tissue is a group of cells having a similar structure and function. And in plants and animal, group of cells called tissue carry out a specific function. And for example, if I say that in a human being, the cells of muscular tissue, in human being, the cells of muscular tissues contract and relax, that help in movement. Yes, and if I talk about plants, in plants, the cells of vascular tissues conduct water and food from one part to another part. Okay, and if I tell you about the difference, what are the differences between plant tissue and animal tissue, then I can say that plants do not move from place to place, animals move from place to place. And plants need less energy, but animals need more energy. And most of the cells of tissue, most of the cells and tissues in plants are uh, dead, but that's why they provide mechanical support and strength. But if I talk about animals, the most of the tissues in animals are living cells. Yes, so the growth of animal is more uniform, and the growth of plant is non-uniform. Okay, so I hope that you understood. Okay, and the growth of animal is more uniform, so animals do not have separate dividing and non-dividing cells. Animals have organs having a specialized function, so the organ have specialized tissue. And if I talk about the plants, I can say that the growth of plants take place only in some region. Yes, so plants have tissues called meristematic tissue which divide and help in growth, and permanent tissue which do not divide. Now as you can see on your screen, there are two type of plant tissue. Yes, as you can see on your screen, there are two type of plant tissue: meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Yes, meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. So meristematic tissue can be divided into three category: apical meristematic tissue, intercalary meristematic tissue, lateral meristematic tissue. Yes, and permanent tissue can be divided into two category: simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Simple tissue, there are three simple tissue: parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Yes, parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. And there are two type of complex tissues: xylem and phloem. And kids, we also studied about the meristematic tissue. Yes, we also studied about meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissues are found in the growing region of the plants. Yes, they are found in the growing region of the plants. Yes, like the tip of the root, stem, branches. Yes, and they divide continuously. They have the ability to divide itself. They divide continuously and help in the growth of plant. Yes, and there are three types. So apical meristematic tissue, let's talk about apical meristematic tissue. Kids, apical meristematic tissues are present in the tip of stem and root. Yes, apical meristematic tissues are present in the tip of the stem and roots, and they help in the growth of the stems and root. Yeah, they help in the growth of stems and root. And if I talk about lateral meristematic tissue, I can say that lateral meristematic tissues are present on the both side. Yes, in the side of stem and root. Yes, and they help to increase the girth of stem and root. Girth means thickness, so they help in the increasing thickness of stem and root. And if I talk about intercalary meristematic tissue, so kids, I hope you understood. And intercalary meristematic tissues are present at the base of leaves and internode and help in the growth of those plants. Now let's study the new topic: permanent tissue. Yes, permanent tissue. So what are permanent tissues? Permanent tissues are formed from meristematic tissues. Yes, permanent tissues are actually formed from meristematic tissues. Yes, they formed after forming of meristematic tissue. When once the growth stop, that time permanent tissue form, means they are forming from meristematic tissue. Okay, they stay permanently. Okay, and they are just opposite of meristematic tissue. You know, meristematic tissue divides continuously. Yes, meristematic tissue divides continuously, but they do not divide. Yeah, they do not, they lose the ability to divide itself. And they have permanent shape and size. Yes, they have permanent shape and size. And they differentiate into different type of permanent tissue. Yes, we can divide permanent tissue into different categories. Yes, there are two type of permanent tissue: simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Yes, so simple permanent tissue are parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Yes, I will also show you picture in next slide. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, simple permanent tissue. So simple permanent tissues are simple. Means what? They are made up of one type of cell. Means similar type of cell. Yes. Well, you know the tissue has similar structure and function. So simple permanent tissues are made of one type of cell. One type of cell, and they are of three type called parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Now let's study about parenchyma. Yes. So let me tell you that kids, parenchyma provide mechanical strength and it also help in storage of food. You know, photosynthesis, by photosynthesis process, plants prepare food. Yes, in the plants do photosynthesis. You studied about the photosynthesis in childhood. Photo means light. Photo means light. Synthesis means prepare. Yes, photo means light and synthesis means prepare. So in the presence of uh, water and carbon dioxide, yes, plants take water from root and carbon dioxide from outside through the stomata, and in the presence of sunlight, with the help of chlorophyll, they absorb sunlight and they make glucose and release oxygen. They give out oxygen. So this way they make glucose and they store it in the form of starch. So in this process, parenchyma also help. Yes, what is the work of parenchyma? Parenchyma store the food. It provide mechanical strength also. Yes, because of parenchyma, plants stay upright. Yes, you might have seen that plants. It is not easy to cut the plants because they have mechanical strength because of parenchyma. Okay, and and the cells of, if we talk about the cells of parenchyma, they are loosely packed. Yes, and if we talk about the space between the cell is known as intercellular space. Yes, the space between the cell is known as intercellular space. So there is large intercellular space is found between the cells of this tissue. Okay, so, I am reading, you can check on the screen. Consist of loosely packed thin walled cell having more intercellular space. Yes, as I said, they have loosely packed thin wall cell. Yes, means their wall are thin. Their wall are thin. Their wall are thin. While the wall of sclerenchyma are thick. While the wall of sclerenchyma are thick, and they have more intercellular space. Yes, they have more intercellular space. Intercellular space means the space between the cell. I will show you the picture, then you will understood. Okay, some parenchyma cells in leaves cell contain chloroplast. Yes, as I said that they store food, so they contain, some parenchyma cell contain chloroplast. And what is present in the chloroplast? In chloroplast, chlorophyll is present. Yes, which help in the absorption. Okay, so some parenchyma cells in leaves contain chloroplast and help in the preparing of food by photosynthesis process. Okay, and some parenchyma cells have large air cavities. Yes, some parenchyma cells have large air cavity which help the plant to float on water. Yeah. Okay, so we can say that parenchyma cells are present mostly in aquatic plants also. Okay, that's why these parenchyma cell have large air cavity which help the plant to float. And some parenchyma cells have root and stem to store water and minerals. Some parenchyma cells of root and stem. Yes, because parenchyma cells also found in root and stem, so they also help in the store water and animal minerals. They also help in storing water and minerals. Okay, uh, so there are different type of parenchymas in means parenchyma and tissue have different type of cell like chlorenchyma, aerochyma. These type of cells make parenchyma. I hope you understood about parenchyma. Now kids, let's talk about collenchyma. Yes, so as you know that parenchyma cells are loosely packed, but they do not loosely packed. And you know that there is a large intercellular space among the cells of parenchyma, but if we talk about collenchyma, they have less intercellular space in comparison to parenchyma. Okay, and their cells are elongated. Yes, their cells are elongated, and they provide flexibility. They provide flexibility. Yes, the branches of plants can easily bend. Yes, if you have tried to um, bend, they can easily bend because they are found at the tip of stem. They are found at the tip of different parts. They are found in the different parts like leaf. Okay, so they give flexibility and allow easily bending different parts like stem, leaf, yes, and they also give mechanical support to the plant. Yes, you know, parenchyma provide mechanical support. In the same way, cholenchyma also provide mechanical support. Okay, that's why it's not easy to break any branches. It's thin branches. It is generally found in thin branches. Okay, but it is also found in the stem. Okay, I hope you understood. If you try to remove the bark of the any branch of any tree, if you remove, then you will get a white structure. Yes, that is actually collenchyma. That is actually collenchyma. And if we talk about the sclerenchyma consists of long, narrow, dead, thick wall cell. Yes. So you know that parenchyma cells are loosely packed, means they are thin, while the sclerenchyma cells are thick. Yes, they have thick wall cell, but in parenchyma they have thin wall cell. Okay, and they are long, narrow. Yes, they are long, narrow, and what is the work of sclerenchyma? They provide strength and hardness. Yes, they provide strength and hardness, and their cell wall is thick. But one more point, that the cell wall contains a chemical substance which is known as lignin. Yes, so the cell wall contains a chemical substance known as lignin, actually, which, what is the work of this lignin? Lignin make it hard. Yes, lignin act like cement and harden, make hard sclerenchyma. Okay, and it gives strength and hardness to the plant part. Yes, it provides strength and hardness to the parts of plant. Okay, so it was all about sclerenchyma. I hope you understood. So what is parenchyma, what is collenchyma, what is sclerenchyma? I hope you understood. Now let me show you the picture of these cells. The next point. Okay, as you can see, three picture: parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Look the first picture, parenchyma. Look the first picture, parenchyma. If you will see closely, then you will see this cells. I have shown the cells of parenchyma in green color. Yes, first picture. Look the first picture. I have shown the uh, parenchyma tissue in a green color, and there is a space. Can you see that space is known as intercellular space? Now look this collenchyma cell. Look the collenchyma cell which is in brown color. There is less intercellular space, but if you look sclerenchyma, there is no space. But parenchyma have thin wall, collenchyma have not too much, and sclerenchyma have thick wall cell. Yes. And parenchyma have actually cross section. Yes, and collenchyma are actually in the form of longitudinal, and sclerenchyma are also in the form of longitudinal. Okay, and they have different mm, like things like they have different organelles, like these cells have different organelles, nucleus, cytoplasm, cell wall, vacuoles. Okay, so as you can see, parenchyma is loosely packed thin wall cell, means they have large intercellular space, as you can see in the picture. Okay, and some parenchyma cells in leaves, which are found in leaves, they contain chloroplast and prepare food by photosynthesis. So we can say that parenchyma provide mechanical strength and food storage. They help in food storage. They help in preparing food by photosynthesis because they are found in leaves and contain chloroplast. And some parenchyma cell have large air cavities which help the plant to float on water. Yes, which help the plant to float. That's why you can say that they are also found in aquatic plant, and some parenchyma cell of root and stem store water and mineral. Okay, and if we talk about collenchyma actually they have less intercellular space, but they provide flexibility. Yes, they provide flexibility. They help in bending. They give flexibility and allow easy bending of different parts like stem, leaf, and they also give mechanical strength. Yes, they also provide mechanical strength support to plant. Yes, and consist of, so if we talk about sclerenchyma consists long narrow dead thick wall cell. This cell contains a chemical substance known as lignin. Yes, remember this substance. Which tissue contains lignin? Sclerenchyma. Yes, okay. So sclerenchyma consists of long, narrow, dead thick wall cell. The cell walls contain lignin, which is a chemical substance, and act like cement and hardens them. Yes, which make it hard, and it gives strength and hardness to plant parts. Okay, I hope you understood. Now, let's write their characteristic and function separately. Um, Let me show you one more diagram. Let's move on the next point. Okay, kids. So I have shown the picture of parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma at first, and then after the in front of them I have written their characteristic, and at last I have written their function. So you can also do like this. First of all, you can make parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma diagram. Then you can write their characteristic in front of them, then followed by function. You can also do like this. So characteristics, uh, if we talk about the parenchyma characteristic, they have unspecialized cells. Yes, their cells are not specialized, and with thin primary walls. Yes, they have thin primary walls. Okay, and what is the function? Photosynthesis, secretion, and storage, and yes, so they help in the storage and provide mechanical strength. Now look the next picture, collenchyma. Yes, in the front of collenchyma I have written the characteristic. So they have elongated cell with uneven primary walls. Yes, their wall is uneven, neither thin nor thick. Yes, neither thin nor thick, living at maturity. Okay, and what is the function? As you can see, support in leaves and stem. Yes, they help in supporting the leaves and stem. Yes, they help in the supporting leaves and stem. And if we talk about the sclerenchyma, as you can see, uh, one more point about cholenchyma, then they provide flexibility. Okay, and you can see the picture of sclerenchyma, and in front of sclerenchyma I have written the characteristic. So they have elongated with a very thick secondary wall and dead at maturity. So cholenchyma, when it mature, it becomes living. So we can say cholenchyma is living cell, but sclerenchyma is dead, become dead at maturity because it will help in support. Yes, what is the function of sclerenchyma? Yes, it provides the support. Yes, and it becomes dead. Why? When it become dead, it makes the wall cell thick, and the we know that the cell wall contains lignin, which is a chemical substance, and act like cement and harden them. I hope you understood about this tissue. Now let's move on the next point. Okay, it's time to ask question from you. Question number one. Write the different type of permanent tissue. Yes, write the different types of permanent tissue. So there are different type of permanent tissue. Yes, simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue. There are three simple permanent tissue: parenchyma, cholenchyma, sclerenchyma. Yes, what is the spelling of parenchyma? Parenchyma. Parenchyma. What is the spelling of cholenchyma? Collenchyma. What is the spelling of sclerenchyma? Sclerenchyma. And different type of complex tissues: xylem and phloem. Xylem, xylem, phloem, phloem. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. Question number two. Question number two is which tissue of plant provide flexibility? Yes. Can you tell me which tissue of plant provide flexibility? Which tissue? Parenchyma, cholenchyma, or sclerenchyma? Which tissue? Parenchyma? No. Sclerenchyma? No. Cholenchyma? Yes. Cholenchyma provide flexibility and mechanical strength also, and support in leaves and stem also. Okay, and these are living at maturity. Okay, next question. Question number three. What is lignin? Yes, what is lignin? Yes, can you tell me, kids, what is lignin? What is lignin? Yes, lignin, actually it is present in cell wall. Yes, lignin is a chemical substance. Yes, am I right? What is lignin? Lignin is a chemical substance, and it is present in the cell wall. Yes, and if I ask you what is the function of lignin, can you tell me what is the function of lignin? Yes, lignin acts like a cement and harden sclerenchyma. Yes, am I right? Harden the cell wall. That's why the cell wall of sclerenchyma is thick. I hope you understood uh, about it. Now, last question. Question number four. Explain simple permanent tissues in detail. Well, kids, before I explain it, let me tell you that because chapter number 7 is removed from your book, so from chapter 6, long question will come. Long question will definitely come in exam. And one more thing, you should open your book and practice the diagrams are very important. Yes, if you will not learn the diagram, you will not get good marks, because mm, it's a, and the diagrams will give you more marks. Yes, because CBSE board will make your paper. Yes, CBSE board will make your yearly exam paper, and some question are difficult, some question are easy, some question are very easy, and some questions are will be too difficult. So you will have to hard work. You will have to do hard work. Okay. So I hope you understood. Now question number 4. Okay. Question number 4 is explain simple permanent tissues in detail. So you know that what are permanent tissue? What are permanent tissues? Permanent tissues are formed from meristematic tissue, yes, and they do not divide and have permanent shape and size. They differentiate into different types of permanent tissue. Permanent tissue are of two main types. They are simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. If you want to write the answer of this question, you can write. Okay, I am speaking again. First of all, you can write the heading permanent tissue. Then write permanent tissues are formed from meristematic tissues. They do not divide and have permanent shape and size. Okay. Then you will write the heading simple permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue. So simple permanent tissues are made up of one type of cell. Okay. They are of three types. They are of three types called parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Okay. What is parenchyma? Write the heading parenchyma. Write the heading parenchyma. Then what will you write? Parenchyma consists of loosely packed thin wall cell having more intercellular space. Okay. Some parenchyma cells in leaves contain chloroplast and prepare food by photosynthesis, and they also provide mechanical support. And if we talk about collenchyma, collenchyma consists of elongated cells having less intercellular space and a thick at the corner, and they give flexibility and allows easy bending of different parts like stem, leaf, etc. Okay. Then write the heading sclerenchyma, and what will you write? Sclerenchyma consists of long, narrow, dead, thick wall cell. The cell wall contains lignin, which is a chemical substance, and act like a cement and hardens them. Sclerenchyma gives strength and hardens to the plant parts. I hope you understood. Now we will meet in next class and we will study new topic. Till then, bye bye.